Well, okay, I kind of tempted fate there, and we'll be okay. Before you go putting all this stuff back together, the shrouds and all that stuff, might be a good time to test the ignition. And hopefully I won't have mud on my face. Let's see here. When you put these boots on and off, twist them on, you know, till you feel them kind of hook up. And I don't know if we can see this or not. This might be, yeah, it's firing in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me zoom you in here. Ready? There you go. Ah, the ignition is pissing off the camera. So it must be working. Oh, that's why it isn't firing very well. I never hooked the condenser back up. What a bozo. So, okay. Well, that shows you how really tough these are. We'll put this big shroud back on. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, and I'm really not doing a very good job at it. And this has the serial number. And we'll just slide that baby back in there. Now, ooh, this one doesn't have it. Huh, that's interesting. A lot of times, from what I see at the factory, see that bottom screw hole there? Apparently whoever puts these together, puts the shrouds on there, doesn't do a very good job of targeting those, and there's a lot of little track marks as the screw wanders around with their air tools, I believe. How about we act like a pro and do a little better job? So, just kind of line that hole up. There you go. And make sure it goes in straight. Leave it just a touch loose. You can always come back, and if you get a really well-fitting screwdriver, you can do stuff like this. And that just goes under that little mounting ear for the condenser. Oh, what a surprise. Hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. So let's try again. Yeah, I'll try and sneak down in there. That might have been a reason the mag was kind of interfering with the camera. It might have been very unhappy. Yeah. Still unhappy, but you can see the spark. It might have been touching anyway. Okay. So remember, twist that baby off. We're about out of, well, we got a little bit of time here. Well, so we're getting somewhere. And your other shroud just goes on there. And a little screwdriver. There we go. We're getting there. Let me back you up a tiny bit. So put the plug back in. Just a little snug there. There you go. It doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Ohlsson Rice, 1 horsepower. I believe this is the Compact 3, I think this might be called. I don't know. That's a reasonable. That one's leaking a little bit up by the gasket. Yeah. Give her just a. Wonder why that is. That's a bit of a puzzle. Carb has a little choke plate. This is a diaphragm carb. It runs off the impulses that come off the engine. I believe that's the mixture. and I think there's an idle screw under here, and this lever adjusts the back tension for the governor vane. And I thought there was an idle screw, idle mixture screw on these. Don't remember. The carb says open, half, and choke right there, and this is a little primer. It bumps the diaphragm. There's actually some phenolic or some kind of plastic insulators between the carb. I swear there was an idle screw, an idle mixture screw on these. I must be wrong. And I believe the cable, if you're going to cable control these, comes through here and bumps this little plate. There's the back end of the thing. If you're going to split the case, take it apart, be aware that there's a kind of a weird taper gasket under here. And these 4 screws kind of pop off. They've got different end connections. This one has a little tapered end connection, probably for a gearbox or a clutch. Baby looks in really good shape. Looks like fun. There's actually some little baby mounting ears under here, a lot like an airplane engine. Carbon stuff again. Muffler, like I said, that just stacks up. You just start unscrewing these 2 nuts. And my suggestion would be that if you want to shorten that up to accommodate, some engine you're replacing, if you get a hold of these longer ones, I would make a new hook. I wouldn't butcher this hook. Put it in a bag and write what it is. Be surprised how many times I go to like estate sales and stuff and find stuff in bags. Obviously somebody wanted it for some reason, but nobody knows because nobody wrote anything on it. If you're kind of a, I don't know, a duck like me, I tend to look at a lot of that stuff, and once in a while you find some gold in them, and there are little bags. The mounting for the recoil unit. You're on your own on the recoil. Okay. And the exhaust kind of wraps around the whole engine. I believe this can be repositioned, but I'm not 100% sure. So there you go. There's the Ohlsson Rice 1 horsepower. Or I've heard it called the chicken power. I've seen these on a lot of different little weird utilitarian things over the years. This one was probably made in the 60s. I've seen these on chainsaws and transfer pumps and foggers, like dairy insecticide foggers, little baby generators that I believe are 12 volt only. What else? Oh, there's a Miramar, little tic-tac things, bikes and mini bikes. There was a place, and I believe they're still in business, I'm not sure, called Octura. Used to make some aftermarket parts. There was a header and a carb to put this in a very reasonably small RC boat. What else was there? Well, I've seen some other stuff. I'm trying to think what it is. A drill. Circular saw. Seen some other wacky hedge clipper. I don't think I've ever seen an edger. I'm trying to think if there's any other weird things I've seen these in. There's a Popular Science, I believe it's like a 1970s Popular Science that shows how to build a little mini bike. And they use this engine and a lot of gear reduction. These run at quite high RPM. What else? Transfer pump, can't remember if I mentioned that. And I think that might be about it. There's a few other little gadgets. There was I believe a Ford chainsaw used these engines in it. I'm trying to think what else there was. Like I said, these little utilitarian engine, and they were kind of fun to play with. There's something else, I forget. Oh well, it's not a big deal. Anyway, thanks a lot for stopping by. Hope I helped you out. Oh, we screwed up and forgot a part. Did you catch that? Notice that the white one goes on first, then the red one. Look for the union label, I guess. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you never know what you might find from time to time. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. And as always, have a groovy day. Take her easy.